Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's talk about how to scale Facebook ads. And I'm going to show you guys my exact strategy that I'm using across multiple stores for my own and for clients and for students. So I know the strategy works and it's very, very simple. And it kind of goes against what all the gurus and all your favorite YouTubers are showing. And they're showing these crazy, crazy days, and then they don't show the entire week or the entire month. So just be careful about those types of strategies. And I've done the strategy before where I surf scale budgets very, very aggressively, and I've learned that yes, they work, but they don't work for a long time. So we'll talk about a little bit why like slow is fast and why you want long-term growth rather than just short profit, quick profit. Maybe you do want quick profit, and maybe that's what you need to do to stack up your cash. Then do it. But I'm at a point now where I want to scale brands for a long period of time and exit them. So my focus is slow and smooth and keeping the margins good as I scale. So let me just show you guys one of my stores. This is my store, not my student stores. We started this right before Christmas, around December 12th, and we did 30K in like 15 days or whatever to the end of the month. Again, all Facebook ads, one product store. If you guys have watched this channel before, I talk about Facebook ads and one product stores and just testing unique products. That's really what it comes down to. If you guys have any questions about, store creation or product research, anything that's not about Facebook ads, just comment them down below, or you can follow me on Instagram and ask me questions and I'll answer them, or you can just join the Discord and ask me there. But yeah, all right, let's move on and talk about what I actually do to scale. So it's the one campaign structure. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot on this channel. And one campaign, one ad set with all your ads in that ad set. At a base level, that's what it is. When you start testing new creatives, then you get into other ad sets. But for scaling, you're basically scaling one ad set. And it's all broad, no targeting. No targeting. And yeah, so let's talk about how slow is fast. So what I mean by slow is fast, I mean scaling very slowly, and being okay with having a low budget and slowly working it up to hit your goals maybe a month from now, 2 months, 3 months down the road, where you're spending a lot more. Instead of just trying to go out the gate, surf scale, get very aggressive, you might get results, but it can all come crashing down and you can't scale with confidence that way. When you do that, you're kind of just manipulating the Facebook algorithm instead of trusting it and giving it spend and increasing your budget slowly so it can give you more consistent results. That's what I've experienced, and that's what other media buyers have experienced as well following this strategy. So I want to step away from this Google Sheet. I want to step away from this slide deck, this PowerPoint, and head over to this Google Sheet. And I want to show you guys like what 10% a day actually looks like in your ad account when you're scaling. And first things first, guys, like even if you don't increase your spend from $100, my testing strategy is $100 CBO campaign. $100 a day is actually a lot of money for the entire year. That's $36,500 a year on spend. It's not, that's like if you have something working $100, like hats off and good for you. And it's even hard to get that. But what people do is they usually go from 100 and they jump to a couple of $1,000s a day super quickly. And yes, it might work, but it's not going to work for a longer period of time. And you might run into creative fatigue and having to test a bunch of creatives, and you're in that loophole of testing interest and testing audiences and just constantly chasing the Facebook algorithm instead of working with it. So I just want to show you what a 10% scale looks like, right? It starts off pretty slow. The next day, 110, 120. But let's look at like the end. Halfway through January, you'll be spending $379 a day, right? And you start at 100. And then by the end of January, you'll be spending, if you follow this 10% a day, almost $2,000 a day. right? Like, that's crazy. $2,000 a day times 365 days, that's a lot of money. Um, and throughout this time, you're just slowly scaling and giving Facebook data and not trying to exploit the algorithm and force spend, where it might work one day might be green, and then you're getting confident, and then you're scaling super super hard, and then you're gonna have a couple of red days in a row, negative, bad margins, whatever, and then you're in this constant loophole of trying to get profitable days, having a little bit of negative days or low margin days, instead of just trying to focus on a much smoother scale as you scale up from $100. I think people think $100 is not a lot of money, but when you look at it at a bird's eye view, it adds up relatively quickly. And a 10% scale is like my middle, like, how do I say this? Like, my middle ground for scaling. You can even do 5%. So you can do 5% a day, or you can do 5% three times a week, or you can do 20% a day. That's about the max I would go, is 20% a day. And you gotta feel it out. I mean, you obviously get to your numbers quicker, but you'll reach a cap where you can't scale past, and that's totally normal. It comes down to having to test new creatives and maybe scaling a bit horizontally and less vertically. And that's another thing to talk about too, is like, this is just for one campaign. And yes, the strategy is one campaign structure, but one campaign per country, per objective. So now you're targeting the U.S., and it's working great in the U.S. at $200 a day, right? $214 a day on day 9. Now you're going to relaunch at $100 a day in Canada, and then again scale up 10%. Now, say you start them both at the same time. On the day 9, instead of spending $200 a day, you're actually spending, $430 a day across 2 campaigns. And that's a lot of spend, that adds up over time. So, I don't know. I think this helped, me, just look at what 10% a day actually is. And it does add up. I mean, let's look at the end of the year. I mean, what is this? Oh my gosh. So in April, you'll be close to $1 million to spend a day if you increase by 10%, right? So it adds up very, very quickly. Okay, let's head back to the Google Slides. What is this? Okay, yeah, that's it. That's my scaling strategy. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know down below. And again, this was with Facebook ads. I would not apply the same strategy to TikTok ads. It's completely different. But yeah, I hope this video helps, and I hope you guys find a winner soon using my strategy for testing, and then just scale up 10%. And before you know it, you'll be hitting 1K days of spend easily. All right, guys, take care. See ya. Bye.